Hey, happy Saturday, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about what happens to debt after 7 years. Can a debt collection agency still call you after 7 years? And what to do if a collection account is still on your credit report after 7 years. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. During that time span, I've done it all, from skip tracing to collecting to working in the legal department and management. Lastly, I've owned 2 debt collection agencies over the course of that time. During the last 8 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions about debt. Now, I want to be the go-to guy for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment. I promise you I'll answer those questions. Let's go. Okay, so you have an account that's been on your credit report, or an account that you had that's been, delinquent for 7 years. What happens? Typically, the credit bureaus will automatically take that off of your credit report. So in general, with bad debt in general, after 7 years is a statute of limitations that passes through, and typically anything that's older than 7 years will come off of your credit report. Now understand, it's from the date of last payment. You have 2 different things. You have a date of last payment, and then you have a charge-off date. Typically, the charge-off date from the creditor will be anywhere from 3 to 6 months from your date of last payment. But the date of last payment starts your clock. And from that date, 7 years to that time span, typically it should fall off of your credit report. Now understand this. In one of the other videos I did talking about can you be sued by a debt collection agency, there are other states, like in the state of Ohio, that has 15 years to actually sue you with regards to an account. Now, I'm not an attorney, so if you are in the state of Ohio and you know that something's 7 years past due, but someone's coming after you after that time span, I've seen cases where even though they have 15 years to actually sue you, once I've seen cases where someone's gone to court after it was like an 8-year-old debt that the creditor was trying to sue a consumer for, and they said it was time barred and it was thrown out. But obviously, get an attorney, don't quote me on that, but I've seen that happen. Nevertheless, typically after 7 years from the date of last payment, it will come off of your credit report. Now, can a debt collection agency call me after 7 years? The answer is yes. I've had old accounts where you call. You can still call, you can still send written letters. Obviously, we can't sue you, but it's a debt that's old, and so a lot of times you'll see debt that's not even on your credit report because of the statute of limitations, but you'll still have a company contacting you with regards to paying it. Now, the reality is the legit debt collection agencies, a lot of times when you get a demand letter or some type of settlement letter, a blind settlement letter is what we call it, because you've never talked to the creditor, but they send you something in writing saying, hey, you owe $3,000, we'll accept $1,500. They'll typically have 3 options, like 50% off, 2 payments of something, or a monthly payment of something to close the account out. Now, understand, they can still send that information, but they cannot sue you, obviously, because the statute of limitation is done. But they can constantly continue to call you, not harass you, but they can call you and send letters in the mail. Now understand, after that 7-year time span, the key thing here with regards to everything is the date of last payment. So let's say you got something in the mail, you started paying, it was 10 years old, and you started paying $25 a month because you feel like you owed it. You start your clock over. So your clock, once you start making payments, your clock starts over. So just because your last payment, you had that debt and it was sent to collections 8 years ago, as soon as you start your payment, then that starts that clock over, which means what? You can possibly be sued and a lot of things can happen. So be very smart with regards to paying. Typically I tell people if it's after 7 years, don't pay the debt because it's old. You basically get a refresh to start. But there are people out there who feel, you know what, I owe this debt and I should pay it. Understand that if you do pay it, you better possibly pay it in a chunk payment and get a paid in full letter and be done with it. Otherwise, a lot of times your clock could start over. And once that clock starts over, you're making monthly payments, or even if you do settle it, it will show on your credit report as a settled account for up to 7 years. So understand that. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is accounts that are still on your credit report after 7 years. I've had accounts on my credit report after 7 years, so it does happen. A lot of times, you know, when debt is purchased and sold, a lot of the nuances and the details of an account can be done. And let's face it, some collection agencies will throw it on your credit report and state that it was a brand new account when it wasn't. But what to do to get it off of your credit report is simple. You dispute it. You dispute it with the 3 major credit bureaus. You have Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Just dispute it, dispute the account, and obviously because of it's time barred and it's past the statute of limitations, it should come off. Now understand, it's something that I do for a living, for friends and family, as well as I have clients. So if you don't have the time or you need some help with regards to doing that, I have my email down below. Just send me a quick email. We can get some type of consultation set up for you, and we can help you out with getting your credit taken care of. Now understand, today is I think the 13th, and a lot of people are going to be getting their stimulus checks. You know, $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for dependents. Now understand, obviously if you have bills to pay or you got to pay your rent and so forth, take care of that. But for some of you guys will have that money set aside. And a lot of you guys, a lot of people that I've known will go and waste it buying a car or something along those lines. Use it to invest into your future. Get your credit right, because that's going to save you so much more money down the line with interest rates and credit card interest rates on payments and so forth. Invest in yourself. If you want to know more about that, email me and we can go from there. Now, if you have any questions regarding debt in general, debt or credit, feel free to put them down in the comment section. And as always, I promise I will answer those questions. And as always, I want you guys to be great.